We're back. I don't know why that happened again, guys. I'm sorry. I just got a little thing that popped up and said you disconnected. But we're back. It didn't even drop frames this time. It just cut right out. Can you hear me now, guys? Are you back? You back with me? Okay. Whew. Well, I think I lost everybody, but probably except for Frog and maybe Punky. I hope we give everybody back. I'm gonna go put a... Give me a second, guys. I'm gonna go put a message up. Hang on. I'm gonna fix this. Stupid. YouTube, yeah, no, I'm gonna relist it. Just give me a sec. Tweet that out and put it in the Keystone Cops. Hey, Chavez. Whew. So glad more than one person can see me. I just relisted it as public, so hopefully everybody can find it. What happens if I click on my own link in the Keystone Cops? I wonder. Oh, good. Okay, good, good, good.
Prepare yourselves.
It does come up.
Bells have tolled. Shelter your weak, your young, and your old. Each of you shall pay the final sum. Cry for mercy.
We had that same issue. We had that same issue last night after streaming for about 6 hours. I thought it was a length of stream thing. I've really got to figure out what the heck's causing that, because it looks like it's an OBS issue. Because well, last night I didn't get it, a notification that there was an issue. It just went out, and I had to notice that Frog had to yell at me in the chat, say, hey, you're out. You're not streaming anymore. What happened? I gotta look into that. That's something I'll do tonight after stream. But for now, let's keep trucking. I don't want to close OBS and... no, Short Funky, not at all. Not at all. It wasn't you, because it happened last night too. Don't worry about it. Yeah, hopefully no more problems. We'll stick with me, and hopefully we won't have any more, so... oh boy. That's stressful. Let's see. Now that I no longer have the buff, there should be some ashes that I can just pick up. Isn't there? Is there not any ashes? Or is the ashes once per day?
What now?
Extinguish the Alliance Fire. It's way too far out of the way.
The sky is dark. The fire burns. You strive in vain as fate's wheel turns.
Yeah, looks like that ashes buff is once per day. Well, that's just annoying. Okay, guys, I'm going to restart my chat program because it's still only showing 3 people in chat, and I'm really hoping that's wrong. So, bear with me while I close the chat for like 5 seconds and restart it. I won't see anything you type for about 5 seconds. Yeah, see, now the chat shows 16 people watching again instead of 2. Sorry, I had to do that, guy. Yeah, and that's just it, Frog. I need to know how many people are watching me. Well, that was a bit of a fool's errand to come up here. Hey, Scholar, thanks for sticking by me. Thanks for everybody who stuck by with that sudden collapse of the stream there. That's... ooh, not good.
A spark. I shall send you myself to the lifeless
Yes, it is. Scholar is completely right. As long as you don't mind being a tank. Did you see that, guys? I walked into Brill and got credit for completing the Douse the Fires. That is awesome. Yeah, pretty much. That's what we were talking about, Punky, right before you got here. Well, 2 things. If you're scared to tank... I know, Kill Die. If you're scared to tank, and trying tanking on Blood DK will pretty much cure you of that. If anything can cure you of it. I know. If anything can cure you of being scared to tank, it's being a Blood Death Knight. Because they have that much survivability. And, you know, if even after that you've given Blood Death Knight a good try, and you're still not happy with tanking, it's got 2 DPS specs. One of them has to be good. It's like the rogues, and the warlocks, and the mages, and the pure DPS classes. Something in it has to be good, because there's, you know, more than one. They're not as much of a hybrid as most. Yeah, Bear is good. And that's one of the things Metro is, again, I talk about him because he's the tank I know the best. Metro has said before many times, it said all tanks are viable. It's just that some tanks perform better than others. Right now, Brewmaster and Blood Death Knight are performing the best. That's why they're getting nerfs in 8.1. Yeah, exactly. You've got, what is it? You've got the Death and Decay, and there's another one too. It's Blood Boil. You still have Blood Boil, right, Scholar? Okay. Yeah, and you've got Bone Shield, which is really good. What's another one? Do you still have Umbilicus Eternus? Or was that one of the traits that went away with BFA starting? I seem to remember Umbilicus being something Metro used a lot, but I could be wrong. Oops. That's what I just said, Scholar. Bone Storm. Bone Storm is huge because essentially, the more you get hit, the more healing you do. If I understand Metro correctly. Again, totally willing to admit that I don't. Yeah, exactly. Like I say, Bone Storm, the more you get hit, the more healing you do. You are essentially unkillable while Bone Storm is up. Assuming you've got a lot of mobs. Yeah, just give it a try. At the very least, if nothing else, like if you're just starting out at level 55, if nothing else, Blood Decay should be fun to level. Because as long as you're questing, you should be fairly unkillable. And you get instant queues to your dungeons if you want to level up dungeons. Yeah, it has very low mobility. That is the only con. But you never answered about Umbilicus, Scholar. Do you guys still have that? As I said, I seem to recall that being a big thing in Legion, and I'm not sure if you guys kept it or not. Oh, that was... I thought that might have been a trait on the artifact. Did they give you anything at all to replace it? Like a less powerful version? Because I seem to recall that being insanely powerful, Umbilicus. What was it Metro would always say? Umbilicus plus Blood Drinker is just... was just ridiculous. I think that's the way he put it. But like he says in that... hang on. I'm going to link a video. Again. Gonna link another Metro video. Stick with me, guys. I'm gonna link another Metro video. Stick with me. Gotcha. This is Metro talking about the 8.1 nerfs to Blood Death Knight. It gives you a really good, kind of gives you a really good idea of how Blood Death Knight's working now, too, I think, anyway. I love me some 4-button rotations. Jonathan, I am doing awesome. Thanks for dropping by, buddy. How you doing? Ah, there you go. Well, that makes sense. Ooh, look everybody, it's Morally Gary. Morally Gary, the Undercity Bat. But yeah, we're spiritedly discussing Blood Death Knights. And me being the person who has no idea what he's talking about. Oh, buddy. Oh, we were talking about that, weren't we? We were talking about you getting some hand surgery. Nice kill die. Well, that'll keep you for a while. It'll keep you going for a bit, won't it? know bear lives matter. I don't think this bear realizes bear lives matter. Still, like, that'll keep you going for a while at 120, that's what I'm saying, buddy. You're gonna get into Mythic Pluses or Raids before you even think of replacing that. And I mean Heroic Raids. I love that my mission, my quest, is to free and heal 4 captured plague bears. But I have killed at least 6 walking towards the cages that were already free. Hashtag Warcraft logic. Not to mention a couple wolves. In the name of balance, as Frog would say. And I know it's in the name of balance because I've got Zenkiki helping me do it. And he's a druid. Mon. Exactly, Frog. All in the name of balance. That's tough to say because I'm not really a progression raider yet. So any raid that I label as my favorite would be based on me soloing it for the most part, right? But if we went outside of soloing, that's tough because I have to look at stuff I did with my guild and got carried through. The Suramar Nightwell raid was gorgeous looking. I love the architecture in there. It was just visually stunning. And Taurus the Burning Throne was a lot of fun. And I mean a lot of fun. If Firelands had a little less orange, I might say Firelands. Yeah, you gotta love Zenkiki.
Work complete.
Although Firelands did have a spider boss, so I don't like that at all. ICC was gorgeous. TOC was a lot of fun to solo. And quick like a bunny. Now, unpopular opinion, but I wasn't very fond of, whatchamacallit, the one with Mimiron's head in it. And the reason being, as I said again, I'm looking at it from the perspective of somebody soloing it for transmog and mounts and old legendaries and all that. While it's visually stunning, I got lost a lot in it, and it didn't make a lot of sense in my head.
Work complete.
And I know that's a lot of people's favorite raid, so, like I say, that's an unpopular opinion, but what are you gonna do? Now, Alduar, thank you. Now, last time I was leveling a character through here, it was my Void Elf Rogue last week. And what happened was, the little thingamabobber popped up, and I had just put on a brand new Dark Moon Fair hat. And I was like, ooh, a rare, I better kill it. Guess what? Attacking it, this particular rare, a level 98 elite. Not a good idea. For toon in the level 50 brackets. Yeah, no, I have really bad arachnophobia, like really bad. Like nasty bad. Like, I have trouble looking at the screen when I'm fighting spiders in Warcraft bad. Yeah, Scholar. I think that's what we determined last time I was here. It's just mean, is what it is. It's just mean to put something like that there for players who are leveling through here at level 50.
Out of range.
I swear I'm not trying to pull aggro from my Void Walker. Yes, Mythic now is insanely easy to solo. reminds me, I've got to take my Death Knight Paladin through there more often because I want that that hammer of Black Hands. I want it. It will be mine, precious. Yes, precious. Oh, the one Blackhand uses. The one from the cinematic. That he's crushing Durotan's chest with. My Death Knight and my Paladin.
Target.
My monk gets it almost every time. You know? That's okay, Punky. Did you see the video I linked to you that talks about DKs? Talks about the nerfs they're getting? Because it also kind of explains how they're working right now. The Black Hand, this one. Yep, that's the one, Jonathan. Whenever, as I just thought it would give you a really good idea of how Blood Death Knights are working and how they're going to work in the next patch, because they are getting a nerf, but it's not really going to affect them that much. At least according to the best Blood Death Knight I know. No offense, Scholar.
I need to target something first.
I'm getting people mixed up again. Dang it. RVM Music was the one I was talking to. It was a Blood Death Knight. Bad cop. Bad cop. Well, it was such a spirited discussion, and the two of you were both going both so determined. I got a bit of a mix up there, and I'm sorry. I've already got enough flesh cobbled whatchamahoozits. Oh. Now, maybe I'm getting you mixed up with again, but I think Midna is also a Mistweaver. Sweet. My fellow monks. Oh, nice. Nice, Jonathan. My fellow monks, we have a problem. In our stream, There was a traitor. One who would dare play that most hated of all leather classes. I'm talking about the druid, of course. One who would dare defame our rightful place as the greatest class that wears leather armor. I think we all know who he is. Well, for that, I think Blood DK is a really good choice. Punky, I really do. Well, there you go, Jonathan. That's... We need to cleanse the scourge from our land and from our game and force Frog to play among them. Threat off of my Voidwalker. It shouldn't even be possible.
I must get closer.
Hey, nothing wrong with that. We're all friends here. We're all just having a bit of fun. And now to escape the trap that is a cave. Trap that has defeated me many times in the past and forced me to use it. The Bach Rock. Sure, give it your best shot. I got two Mistweavers here to back me up. I'll be in a life cocoon for the entire fight. Take 0 damage. See? It's my monk's dog. Got you covered. I think I found the way out, guys. I think I might have actually found a way out. We were lost for days in the cavern. Until Cobb finally found his way out. Oh yeah, oh yeah. Cobb rules is the thing. Rain and fire like Apache helicopters. Cobb rules is the click. Thanks, Jonathan. I love having you in the room, too. Feel better. And, rest that hand, eh? We need you back in Azeroth at some point. No. No. There's one thing we've learned. It's that the great Ian kind of precocious when it comes to who gets what mounts. You gonna give me enough for a level, O dog? It's true. Hey, I've got that same mount. I'll tell you what. When it comes to me and my monks, we ride together, we die together. Sometimes we even go live together. Let's see. 53. 3 hours 20. That's not bad, especially considering we had some hiccups. I'd like to see it better, but what can you do? It's true, they can be used as mounts. And not a heck of a lot else from what I understand. Exactly, Scholar. Now, give me a second. I'm just going to throw this over my face to cool down for about 5 seconds. And then I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to hearth. And we'll switch over to my blood decay. That's a pretty decent plan. Not blood decay. We're talking about blood decay so much. My frost decay. Finish him off because I need him to be 120 so I can do the time walking with him. So I'm actually going to hit Hearth first. Poor contextually, he's going to be so sad he missed this. I'm going to take a bite and then I'm going to put this over my face for 2 seconds. Whew. Whew. I would argue, Frog, that because we're less specialized, we do whatever monks do, or we do whatever druids do, only that little bit better. We are the monk leader. What are you talking about? Me too, son of Spartacus, me too. That orc is the brother of Broxigar, the only mortal to ever injure a Titan up until we, you know, kind of went 20-on-1 and almost killed Argus. But Argus was a nascent Titan, nowhere near as powerful as Sargeras, and Broxigar managed to hurt Sargeras. What's the last thing Malfurion did? Well, he got married to Perenolde, only the first time they tried to have a wedding, it got interrupted, if I remember correctly. Then he showed up in the Firelands to stop Ragnaros from escaping, but he needed Hamel Rune Totem's help to make that happen. Or no, was it Brawl? No, it was Hamel. Yeah, it was Hamel Rune Totem's help for that. I have a little bit of a problem with that frog because did he really help us? Did he really help us? See, I'm not so sure he helped us in there. What did he actually do to help us? No, they didn't end the Fire Lord. All they did was stop him from escaping so we could end the Fire Lord.
I am listening.
I'm generous. I'll give them an assist for that. I'm gonna do an island expedition. Not because it's the most efficient thing for XP, but because 350 Azurite is good. I don't know, man. It looked to me like all he did was throw a fishing line made out of vines into Ragnaros' bathtub and pull him back out with the help of Hamel and Cenarius. That was kind of how I saw it. Nothing. No, the frog. Don't get me wrong. They did nothing. Absolutely nothing. At least Green Jesus fired his laser rocket at Deathwing. I'd give him an assist for Ragnaros, sure. I still say he needed to be more boots on the ground and not Hyjal. He did very little in Hyjal. He could have done so much more to help us fight Staghelm. But no. You know, it'd be more fun to sit back and relax. Eat some chips. In fact, I would argue if Malf was more on his game in Hyjal, Staghelm would have never gotten to the Firelands. Malf should have foreseen what's her pickle betraying us. I'm just saying. This could be bad, guys. I'm probably the most tanky person in this group.
Get to it. The Azerite's waiting for you.
I'm just saying. Probably sit in front of the TV saying, "Hey Perenolde, can you get me a beer? The football, hockey, soccer baseball game is on. Is this guy pulling the entire island? I mean, I'm down for it if he is. Yeah, there was that. I didn't recognize that I got stunned there. Thought I got off my breath of Cindergosa. Got killed. Yeah, all that stuff was without him. Just saying that the dude could have stepped up a little bit. Like, come on, man, hit the front lines. I mean, he essentially Yoda'd the whole thing.
Must be a big load of Azeroth out there.
Is this like that whole Blizz hates shamans thing? Because, you know, Brawl. Thank you for not spoiling. For more than just me. I'm certain there's probably some more people in the stream who haven't delved into the data mining yet. I mean, it's not untrue.
They are looking to get their Azeroth too.
Now, where did the dude go? Over here, I think. Ah, yeah, there he is. Oh, Nels. All in the name of balance for the Nels. Apparently I'm still stuck in combat with something, because even as a slow butt Death Knight, I still couldn't mount up. Hey now, Thorns resemble that remark too, you know. We love us some trees up in Thunder Bluff. That was close. Again, stuck in combat with something. All I'm saying is, when Blizz gives you a world quest that you can do while leveling, you do that silly thing. I suppose he was a pretty good character in Warcraft 3. If a bit short-sighted when it came to his brother. Very nice.
Stay strong.
Of course, in the Warcraft 3 story, Perenolde still does most of the work. But I get the feeling that's kind of been Malfurion and Perenolde's deal. Yeah, for sure. Although, if you want to call it making up, he essentially said, you become a demon, leave Night Elf lands at the end of Warcraft 3, then at the end of Frozen Throne, they were a lot closer. Now, I'm not saying that this is my personal ship. Hey, John, how's it going? Thanks for dropping by, buddy. But I think that this particular storyline that I'm about to link to you does more for Malfurion's character than pretty much the entirety of World of Warcraft. Yeah. I know, I get you. But, Kenix? Yeah, Kenix, we're gonna be doing some, Hearthstone, or, not Hearthstone, reading your name. It's been a long night. I didn't sleep last night, just to give you an idea. I had a really bad migraine, so I didn't get any sleep last night, so I'm a little bit woozy. But our 1 to 120 now is looking like it's going to be here. So we'll probably start Wednesday morning here. And it'll probably go through Saturday night. That's what we're looking at right now. I've actually got a bunch of work to do next week to get that set up too, so we might miss a few streams next week, guys. We might. Let's see. Where is my... there we go. It's Mondazi. Once again, I apologize for eating on stream. I did miss my breakfast and my supper last night, so I'm very hungry and tired, so... Well, I'm glad. You'll be able to catch some of it. For sure. That's the guy I'm supposed to talk to.
do not ask questions. I follow orders. It would be wise for you to do the same.
Jack Rosette wants this one dead.
Hey, you! Yes, you. Are you the one that's been asking around about walking? But let's try to avoid drawing any attention. War God Harakira was my commander. The best man this city has ever seen. She told me she was close to feeling that General Jack Rosette is a traitor to the crown. But I haven't heard from her since. Whatever she uncovered.
Sure, don't help me out at all, Guard of Zandalar.
The dunes are
Just getting
death
attacked.
sentence. I will not stand by and let Rakira be swallowed by the sands. As you can see, there are still some of us who believe the same. What can I do for you? Ride when you're ready, but let's not waste time. Rakira won't last long in the sands. We need to travel to the swamp. As long as we stay in the air and out of sight, we shouldn't have too much trouble.
Ooh. In a way, I'm practicing for the 1 to max level stream right now by pushing through the tiredness, so.
Kaja beneath us. What are those things?
Let's keep flying and hope we can find out.
You know, while we're on this flight path, I'm going to go get a beverage and re-soak my cloth here with some cool water. I will be right back. Hang in here, guys. We're not going anywhere, even if my OBS is not functioning properly. Hey, Lord Raz. Glad to have you. Thanks for dropping by the stream. I will be right back. As I say, I'm going to get a quick beverage here, so hang on, guys. Hang in there. I'll be right back.
We need to speak. The king has lured the visitors. That could pose a problem. You do your part, General, and I will do mine. Trespassers. You will die if these do.
Everyone, break ranks! Make your way to safety! Get as far from these snakes as you can!
Let us make it suffer.
Ooh, I left my microphone on. Sorry about that, guys. Oh, I'm so embarrassed. Oh, dear, oh, dear. Let me bring the camera back on. Oh, those tables back where they should be. Bring the chat back up. Hopefully there were no fridge raids while I was gone. Icanics, no, I didn't burn myself. This is a little trick I learned while doing my 1 to max level streams. It helps keep me awake because it keeps the back of my neck really nice and cool. So it helps keep me awake. John B, the new squishy bear. Thanks for dropping by, buddy. Punky, don't encourage Frog to raid the fridge. But I thought Anduin loved Rathion. How can he love you both? That guy must have a lot of love to go around.
Nice choice. I can work with that. I'm ready. Good day. Let's hunt some setback.
Okay. Okay, so we're killing 12 Sethrak, and we're getting a bunch of stuff. Oh, but before we do, we're gonna come over here and we're gonna use this treasure chest over here. Oh, come on, treasure chest. I know you're right there. Oh, it's a flute. Oh, this is one of them things. That's gonna be hard to see. I think it's this thing. Right? No? Come on, cop. Should be standing directly on top of this flute. And it's in this cave. It's stuff like this that really parses my pickle. Go, Scholar! But the add-on says it's inside the cave, see? In cave. Those sneaky Pete's at the add-on place. Well, outside we go. Either way. Time to go. Can't keep you guys watching while I search for an invisible whistle. Sylvanas was just celebrating her military victory with a weenie roast. She just needed some kindling is all. No, I believe you more than I believe the add-on. mechanics. I really do. Okay, Scholar, take care, buddy. We'll see you tomorrow. Have a good sleep. Vic! Long time no see. How you been? We missed having you around. No, not the quest. That looks like a... Looks like it's a rare or a chest or something, but it says it's a whistle.
Now the Sethrak will know to
No quest here. Yeah, it's like one of those things that Handy Notes would know how to find. Yeah, doing pretty good. I'm really tired. I honestly wouldn't care, but it's a whistle, so I mean, yeah, I'm old. It's the only white hair I own. It's right on my facial hair, right down the middle. Thought I heard it. No, it couldn't be. I'm old. Exactly, Lord Wrath. You gotta respect the beard. Especially now that he's back wrestling. That's right. Cop watches WWE. He gets the Daniel Bryan reference.
My people will be free. Winds at your back, swords in your head.
Not bad. I had to take most of September off for medical reasons, unfortunately. I had a really bad viral infection. What is this? That's another treasure chest. Sethrak skull. Oh, that's over here. Respect my authority. I bet you that's it right there. But on Tuesday, I got into my very first progression. Mythic pulls. My guild was really short-handed, so they pulled me in for some mythic progression pulls on... an insanely hard boss in Aldir. And I forget his name every time, so hang on, let me pull it up.
Fear us.
Vectis. Dear Lord, that's a hard fight. And I don't just mean for me, like, that was a fight that... Whew. And it's not like the DPS requirement was beyond us, or, you know, the healing or the tanking was too hard. It's that it requires a lot of precision and a lot of coordination. So it's a really, really hard fight. We spent 4 hours banging our head against it. But it was indeed probably some of the most fun I've ever had in this game. Because it's just so good. Okay, what am I looking for here? Explosives. I swear, I can never figure out which way my arrow's going on these mini-maps. It was really fun. I wish I could have streamed it, but my my PC does not support streaming raids. It's too old. Explosives, explosives. Where are you, explosives? You know, you would think this is the first time I've done this, given how badly I'm doing it. But, especially, is it not this? Is this not the explosives? Kind of has to be the explosives, is it not? Oh, come on. And we've got our next 1-2 max level scheduled for... Okay, Kenix, thanks for stopping by the stream. Glad to have you, buddy. For sure, for sure. We'll see you next time. We've got our next 1-to-110 scheduled probably for about here through here. So this Wednesday through this Saturday, so... I see nothing that I can click on. Should be right here somewhere. There we go. Wow, that was difficult.
Today is a good day to fight.
Let's see what we got. 9 eye level upgrade. And 11 eye level downgrade. I'll go with the upgrade, I think. Well, always having fun here. No worries there. Oh, I forgot to open that Seafarer's thingamabobber. Should probably sell some of my vendor trash too. I swear my mind is all over the place today.
I have many lucky doos you like. feet find good trails.
Well, time for a bit of focus. Oh, that's good. Boomkin are good DPS. Like, Frog and I joke about, you know, druids are better than monks. Haha. Monks are better than druids. Which is true. But, especially in a 5-man, bombkins are hugely useful. They're probably the #1 DPS you want to bring for a Mythic plus 5-man. They've got so much utility, it isn't funny. And their damage isn't bad either. I was about to say something smart, alecky, about you get frozen now. When I set off my Cinder Ghost of Fury. Then I remembered. Probably. But then I remembered that the thing that makes it freeze people is a Legion Legendary, and I'm level 116 now, so that don't freeze nothing no more.
Right where I left it. Hang on. This is gonna be a wild ride.
Again, guys, I apologize deeply about this, but missed breakfast and lunch. I need something in my belly. A big old belly. Certain it is. Every 2 seconds, gain a stack cold heart, causing your next chains of ice to deal blah 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 frost damage. That's
I always find a way. Is this another survivor?
not what I'm talking about.
She may not survive for long. Her wounds
That's not what I'm talking about, Kildai, at all. I should still be wearing the Legion Legendary, so I'll show you what I'm talking about. Just need to find it. Is that the one? No, that's not the one. Not. There we go. Frostworm's Fury, 50% reduced cooldown, and freezes all enemies for 3 seconds. That's this. My most powerful cooldown cuts it in half and causes it to freeze anyone it touches. This does not do that. It's not even on crit. It just freezes things. That's just it. It's not even on crit. It freezes everything all the time. Freezes all enemies hit. Not on crit. It is vastly overpowered. Because what can happen is I can get into a situation where I'm being overwhelmed. I'll use Frostworm's Fury. It freezes everything, and it gives me time to throw off a bunch of death strikes, or you know, pop my Icebound Fortitude or my anti-magic shell, because everything is in front of me is frozen, and for quite a distance too, right? Let's
Got
repair
anything
stuff.
for me? Be quick.
And we'll hand in.
What have you got?
Oh, hi.
Gotcha. Gotcha, gotcha, gotcha. This, in my opinion, this is a little bit better than that. If for no other reason than it's instant. And it's on such a heavy hitting ability that it makes a huge difference. Because say I'm dealing with one large elite and a couple of dozen ads. It'll often kill most of the ads with my Frostworm Fury, which gives me, you know, some Death Strike. So I can sit there and spam Death Strike on the ads, gaining Death Strikes every time, free Death Strikes every time I kill one of the ads with the Death Strike. And they'll be so low from the Frostworm's Fury, I can just sit there and spam it and heal myself up to full from like less than 1%. It's just sweet. If you time it right, it's quite useful. But of course, it's not. It doesn't exist anymore because, you know, it's not Legion. Anyway, what am I doing here? Pricklevine Juice and Sandslinger Venom Plant. Cinderghost's Breath is never my choice. Yeah, it's awesome. Huge AoE. Great. My problem with Cinderghost's Breath is it drains the runic power, and it's a channel, right? So and it's an ability. I have to proc it, so it's another button I have to add. This is a passive. And what it means is my Howling Blast always gives, yeah. So you know what I'm saying, buddy. You know, you understand. Looking on the forums, last time I checked, this was pretty much the standard build. I could be wrong. Some of the stuff might have changed, but again, my biggest problem with Breath of Cindergrosa is it's another button I have to push in my rotation, and I don't have a lot of gaps in my rotation as it is. The draining of the runic power isn't so bad because I'm often getting really close to capping it anyway. But when that happens, I can Death Strike, heal a little bit, get a lot of that back, and especially in 8.1 coming up, Death Strike for us is getting quite a buff, if I remember correctly. Anyway, Pricklevine Juice, Sandstinger Venom Gland.
Hi there.
Oh. Well, we can't have that.
Feels for a friend who's almost
Ain't nothing wrong with that. I think I've told this story before in stream, but I'll tell it again. Back in Wrath, back when it was still possible to get bored of the game, or at least it was still possible to easily get bored of the game. My entire guild, because we didn't have enough people to raid, went and created a bunch of gnome death knights just to run them through the death knight starting zone one day, just as something to do as a guild for fun, right? We all made them gnomes. They all had pink hair. They all had to have pink hair. They all had to have the Leia bun. It was hilarious. I swear you could almost see the looks people gave through the computer monitor to this large group of pink-haired gnomes running through the Death Knight starting area in a group. A lot of people had the same reaction as Lord Wrath there. Because they already didn't like, you know... Have I said you know too many times? They already didn't like gnomes being Death Knights. Especially back in Wrath, when gnomes, or Death Knights were serious business. Because they were the new big thing. We actually got more than our share of what are you doing, why are you doing it, and what do you mean for fun? Yep, RVM, good old Frost. I don't tank. And I don't like having to manage a pet. Which is odd to say, considering I do play Hunter from time to time. But I'm not big on dots. I'm not big on micromanaging a pet. And I don't tank. So... Naturally, I frost. Which I like too. I mean, I think it's a... It feels really nice anyway. Ooh, what's in here? There's a treasure chest. I know. I tend to feel the same way. There's a certain feeling to it for sure. Move this table over a little bit so I can see my map a little better. Can't be leaning in every 2 seconds to see my map, so. And I find the reverse is true too, RVM. I enjoy the mechanics of my class when I'm soloing. By that I mean I enjoy the rotation when I'm soloing. Because when I'm soloing stuff, I have the control of aggro and all that kind of stuff that a tank would have. But I'm only really responsible for myself. So I find it actually way more relaxing. Well, good luck gearing them up. You know, there are some challenges with gearing right now in BFA. But overall, I think it's and especially with the changes they're making for 8.1, it's just going to be darn near perfect again.
Dolly likes you. I can tell.
Have you come to trade?
I saw an interesting comment the other day. For those of you that are tanks, you might appreciate this. Nice. You're going up fast, buddy. You are.
I know these dudes better than anyone. It's never safe to travel alone.
Where's that? There we go.
Hero, is that you?
Get in there and pug those heroic raids, buddy. You'll be there in no time.
I can help.
I saw an interesting comment on a video about the Blood Death Knight discussion that talks about all tanks. Because one of the things that was said in the last Q&A is they saw a skew too much towards Blood Death Knight and Brewmaster Monk. They were the two predominant tanks, especially in Mythic Plus. Oh, nice, Squishy. That's awesome, bud. And some of the things they've done to Blood Death Knight really don't solve a lot of the problem, because the problem is the way the whole class is designed. Is that they're always going to be good. They'll never be bad, because they're based on having self-healing. You have to redesign the entire class in order to make them bad. So, one of the ways that was suggested to compensate for it, and if you guys are tanks, I really want to know your opinions on it, because it seemed a really good idea to me, was to give Gorfine's Grasp to Frost and Unholy as a method of balancing out the distribution of tanks. Because Gorfine's Grasp is so good and so usable, especially in 5-mans, of course, that it's causing a lot of the skew towards Blood Death Knights. Because every other tank essentially has to find a different way to do what Blood Death Knights do with Gorfine's Grasp, right? Mass pull in the enemies into a spot. So by giving Gorfine's Grasp to Frost and Unholy, it allows groups to have a larger composition, because they can either have a Blood Death Knight that does that, or... well, exactly, kill die. Or they could have one of the DPS be a Frost or Unholy Death Knight, and have a Paladin tank, or a Prot Warrior tank, or, you know, a Bear tank, and still have the benefit of Gorfine's Grasp in the group. I thought that was a really unique and ingenious way of balancing tanks, but I'd love to know what you guys think about it, you people who actually play tanks. Since we're talking so much about Blood Death Knights, that I was really kind of wondering how you guys thought about that, who play tanks and are watching my stream. So, doesn't have to kill die. You just make it so it's not a taunt. It doesn't do any damage, right? So it doesn't necessarily have to pull aggro. Remember, remember when they redesigned all the Death Knights? Because in Wrath, of course, all 3 Death Knight specs could tank. Well, they redesigned it so that Blood was a tank, and Frost and Unholy were strictly DPS. There was a glyph that was pretty much mandatory for Frost and Unholy that eliminated all threat from Death Grip, so that Frost and Unholy could use Death Grip without aggroing or pulling aggro away from the Blood Death Knight or whatever tank they happen to be running with, but still use it for its utility and still use it out in the field. Because I mean, if there's nobody else, if it's just me and this guy, I don't care if I'm not getting, because this doesn't cause any aggro, but it does pull him into me, right? So he is going to aggro to me because I'm alone. But if I was running with a tank, he would aggro naturally to the tank, even if I Death Grip him. Well, there's no reason they can't do the same thing with Gorfine's Grasp. You know, they just make it so doesn't cause any aggro when used by a Frost or a Holy Death Knight. It's extra utility for Frost and Holy, which they kind of need. And it allows a lot more fluctuation in tanks and still keep a lot of that usefulness that Blood Death Knights have. I always get turned around as to which way the arrow is facing on my minimap. It's an annoying habit of mine. I gotta stop it. I got to stop it. Anyway, it was just a thought as a topic for discussion as we grind our faces off and do a little bit of leveling here. There you go, kill guy. Gorfien's Grasp would solve that. Like I said, it makes Frosts like us way more effective. And it helps the community as a whole, really. Like I say, I saw it as a comment on Metro's talk about the nerf to Blood Death Knights is coming in 8.1. I thought, jeepers, that is a heck of a good idea. I'm going to ask the tanks in my stream about that next time I see them. My biggest struggle with Death Knight, again, and since I really only play Frost, my biggest struggle with Death Knight is the speed that they're going at. It doesn't have enough. Moreover, speed used to be one of their big things. Remember when Death Knights had, what was it, on a pale horse? Or, yeah, we might still have it on a pale horse, to be honest. I think we do. But it was, you were as unstoppable as death itself, and you naturally move like 30% faster. Yeah. Well, now it's well mounted. And it's 20%.
to be made? You are different than most.
Anyway, like I say, I'm not a tank, but I really like Death Knights anyway. And stuff like that kind of fascinates me as to how it's going to work.
Repay this debt. You have my word.
Okay, so what do we got left to do? Said, what do we got left to do? I'm recovering something. Can't quite read what it says. So we'll open up the quest log. Yeah, the chat did drop off a little bit there, didn't it? Much like when it comes to the Emerald Nightmare, I blame it for you. Frog, this is all your fault.
The sun has set across the dunes, providing some relief from the heat that has made many delirious. In a sun-stricken stupor, one among us began rambling about a temple to the south that welcomes exiles.
That's a heck of a good idea.
I doubt he will make it through the night.
Well, I get tired when I feel like I'm all alone, right? Well, that's nice. That's actually quite a nice feeling when it's so hot in here. Get it nice and tight against my head. Yeah, I mean, honestly, Punky, I don't really kite as a melee DPS. Maybe that's why I die. Hey, truly not so. Thanks for dropping by the stream. Glad to have you. Now you may ask, Cop, why is that on your head? And I would say, it's a fashion statement, of course. You must not be up on the latest fashions if you question why this is on my head. I tell you what, I guarantee. Yes, Frog, the chat had gone dead, and I, of course, like everything else, you know, the Emerald Nightmare, the amazing turn of events that turned Bashere from a paradise to a complete disaster. I blame a druid. Gotta be one of my least favorite quests. I'm looking in the wrong area anyway. So I can't tell which way my arrow's pointing. Curses. Oh, look at that. too bad. Well, honestly, I only blame Frog Squishy. Frog allows one of his guildies who's a druid to roleplay incorrectly. And that just means we have to punish Frog. Meanwhile, I'm getting turned around by this quest that spins me right round. Right round, baby, right round. It spins me right round. Wow, that's harsh. Yeah, no worries. Depends on what you mean, Chuli. Do you mean the WoW mobile app that allows you to do stuff like using the auction house? Or do you mean actually playing the full game on a mobile device?
Yes? Zandalar What have you brought?
Mira, ready the wagon and be prepared to pick up supplies at the port. Our new allies can ride along and continue their search. It's time to put Nisha's plan into action. Sethrak will never see us coming.
So you mean to say, is it or will it ever be possible to play World of Warcraft on like your phone or a tablet? I don't think so, and I'll tell you why. Look here. See all this stuff here? It would be exceedingly difficult. Let's see what we got here. 263. Oh, that's a 31 point. That's 13. We'll do Exiled Veteran's Great Belt. It would be exceedingly difficult to map all these keys onto such a small screen, for one thing, and, you know, into certain controls for others. It would just be extremely hard. It's like there are apps, or there are add-ons out there that allow you to play World of Warcraft on a controller. It's really bad. It's kind of class sensitive even. Like, Demon Hunters, if only because they're the newest class, so they have the fewest spells, is it even possible for them to do it? Come on now.
Assassins sent by Jakrazet attacked our camp in the middle of the night.
as I say, it would be extremely difficult. First, for the size of the screen. Second, for the tech involved to put it on such a small device. Third, for the amount of buttons that you have. You know, there are a bunch of reasons why it probably can't be done very easily. Sure. But at that point, what's the point? And I mean, seriously, Andy, if you're gonna get a full-ish keyboard and a little phone and a full-ish keyboard in front of it, how you gonna hold your phone to the keyboard, and then it's unwieldy, it's awkward, yeah, and there's a reason why mobile gaming has never been really big. I think the biggest mobile gaming's ever been was the original Game Boy, because it's not easy to do well. And when you're talking about a game that's not designed for 4 to 8 buttons, or 12 buttons, or even 16 buttons, it's hard to do well. Impossible? No, not impossible at all. Eventually the technology will exist that allows it. But it's hard to do it justice. Ooh, there was one. Oh, thank goodness. Thank the good Lord. I had no idea where this was.
Survive much longer without food or water. After traveling in circles for most of the day, I decided my only option was to follow the advice of a rambling
Sure.
man and head south toward the promise of shelter.
Now, I'm old enough that when I was in school, we couldn't do that. The biggest, most advanced game we could play on our graphing calculators in my school was Snake. And like I say, it's not that I'm saying it's technically impossible. Like I say, eventually the hardware to be able to do it will exist, yeah. It's how desirable it will be, how practical it will be, how many people will want it, cost versus return for Blizzard, and how useful it'll be. I mean, extrapolate the thought. Would you really, and I mean really, want to raid on a screen that big? Yeah, kill die. I don't know how old you are, buddy, but when I was in high school, graphing calculators were about around that. $169 to $200 depending on which one you got, and they were required for high school math. It was required to, like, your child had to have one to take math 10, 20, 30, which is grade 10, 11, and 12, all of high school. So they were required for that, but they were, as you say, they were banned from junior high, which is 7, 8, 9, right? Well, and that's what I'm saying, Andy. Like, even if you could get the technical capability to handle city areas or raids or 5-mans on it, it would still be almost unplayable just based on the size of the screen. Right? You couldn't see what was going on. You'd have to have the darn thing up here. You would almost have to have it in a VR. That was my childhood too, buddy. My first computer as a kid was a VIC-20.
Have you come to trade? Remember, everything has its use.
Oh, get in the caravan. Jeepers. It's like I'm in Eastern Plaguelands all over again. Yeah, it's not that it's, you know, impossible technology-wise. Because technology's always getting smaller and better and faster and stronger and yada yada yada. It's that it would be difficult to be usable. Yeah, we had that in grade 10, which is freshman kill die as a requirement, and it was required for all 3 years in high school. But it was banned from the 3 years of junior high and, of course, elementary, because they didn't need it. Because you did. You needed it for trig and to properly graph all the functions and that kind of thing.
How could Rakira survive in such a place?
Truly, I've never heard of it. I've never heard of Order and Chaos at all.
I will find her or die trying.
Class of 92. Class of 92. My older brother was class of 87. So you'd be around his age, a few years older than him.
This is Rakira's shield. Where is she? What have you done to her?
Jackals to blame for this, not me.
It's...
Rakira's the only reason I'm still alive.
Say I was born in 74, my brother was born in 69. You must have been born, what, 66? One of the things I remember most about school, growing up, was they kept changing the curriculum every year because stuff was moving so quickly. They would change what was in each grade every year that we were going along. It was quite the tumultuous time for teaching, for sure.
Then you must investigate, but use caution. Jack Reset may still be near.
Yeah, see, we had it like grade 5 and 6 and even 4 to a certain degree. But it was, again, at the same time, it was experimental for us at that point, too.
We can't get in. The door is sealed with magic we've never seen before. Silence! We are not alone. You made a mistake coming to these dunes. The princess can't save you now. Grostalk, deal with these trespassers.
Stepping foot on this land.
Better than me. My blood is on your hands. Whatever you got is gonna be mine.
Watch this. Too close. I was gonna do something really cool. Pull the mob out of the way of that mage's fireball. Hey. Quit hitting me in the back with your sword. That ain't cool. But of course, our school system was considered really progressive too. It's really hard to explain unless you're Canadian who grew up in Alberta. There you go, man. It was worth it then. But at this second, I am currently 7 floors up, but still sitting on top of the second largest oil deposit in the planet. And as such, it's one of the reasons why we haven't paid for healthcare for decades here. But schooling gets a lot of that funding too, right? Hey Chavez, you betcha, buddy. I'm fighting off the tiredness different ways. Things are getting a little fuzzy on my screen, but we're fighting through. We want to get an 8-hour stream in, and we're only 5 hours in. I'd hate to drop the stream by 3 hours, so if I can get another hour in, I'll consider it a success.
I deserve my fate.
Okay, what do we got here? 3 eye level upgrade and a 3 eye level upgrade. Ooh, no matter what, I'm dropping a legendary. That is a bigger upgrade.
Some things cannot be avoided.
Whew, that is a tough one, buddy. That's a super tough one, actually.
I have many
What flavor of Warlock were you thinking of running? Yeah, that seems like the most predominant one. That's a bit of a big upgrade, too. I don't know, if it was me, Chavez, I would go with the Warlock, but only because I don't tank.
Many farewells.
If I was a tank, or capable of tanking, I would take the Pally. Because I love melee. That's what I do, is melee.
Many deals for a friend. Like you.
I'm listening. Let's keep moving. Rakira won't survive this desert for long.
Focus. Well, kind of falls into what we were talking about earlier. I don't know if you were here then, but Blood DK is pretty much the predominant tank right now, with Brewmaster coming in second. So you might want to consider Blood DK. But entirely up to you. No, no, no. Let me explain. Blood DK is overpowered. Not because of balancing issues like, oh, it gets this much crit from such and such, or, oh, it benefits too much from mastery, so it blah, 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 blah. Blood Death Knight is overpowered because of the concept of Blood Death Knight. I can never find that bloody node. You understand? Like, they are nerfing Blood Death Knight in 8.1. But it's barely a nerf. It doesn't really do anything to them.
Did you bring me?
I would say it's less that Blood Death Knight is overpowered, and more it's the #1 taken tank. Let me show you something, Chavez. Let me show you something. I give to you my favorite Blood Death Knight explaining the nerf to Blood Death Knights in 8.1 and explaining how they work now and why the nerf doesn't matter. give it a watch. It might change your mind about Blood Death Knights. I'm just saying. Sweet. Oh, Frog, that's not good. I'm sorry to hear that, buddy. Stuff like this is why the change to Azurite gear is necessary, Frog. I know that doesn't help you with a cloak, but you get my point. The point still stands, right? Yep, and the thing about that is, too, with the Azurite system changes, it's less for you to worry about when you're actually doing your Mythic Pluses, and you're actually getting your Mythic Plus caches. So it kind of frees those up. So it makes it easier to get gear out of those. No, I will not succumb to sleep. I will continue to stream. Okay, what am I doing now? Sylvine seeds planted. Speak to Mira. North Fountain freed, South Fountain freed. Okay, maybe I'll just finish these 4 quests and stop. Ooh. I'm losing it, guys. I'm losing it. Okay. Nice. My name is Cock, and I am a Tauren. Okay, where are you? I see ya. Dear Blizzard, Muldoon's music makes me fall asleep every time I enter the zone. Please fix it. Yours truly, Bob. Huh? How long was I gone? I'm fairly certain I lost it there for about a second.
Oh, hi. Hey, don't die out there.
We should head south. temple is somewhere within those hills.
Okay, good. Thank you. I didn't want to fall asleep on you guys. I really didn't. I really do try my absolute best
This cannot be the only road we can take.
to
Oh, it's not.
provide you with the best entertainment and fun and
Not the dunes.
everything
I promise
like that
they're
every time I stream.
very dangerous. Not even the
Derps
Sephiroth-
notwithstanding, and sometimes derps included. The last thing I want to do is go.
Dolly and Dot are my best friends. They pull my wagon through dunes of sand. They have small teeth and they
No, I haven't.
What is that screeching coming from your mouth?
Oh, nice.
Dot and Dolly like it when I say
That's pretty cool, Squishy. I like that. I really do.
It makes me want to go back to my old ways.
fine then. Dolly and Dot are my best friends.
There is an add-on
Through dunes of sand.
This must be the place.
that
I can see a structure ahead.
takes all the music files in World of Warcraft, organizes them, and can replay them in-game, so you can decide what music you're listening to. You could be in Baldoon listening to the Grizzly Hills music, or in Red Ridge Mountains listening to the Orgrimmar music.
If I can help, I will.
If Rakira is within this temple, we will find her.
Do you seek redemption? Akunda welcomes all.
While looking for an exile named Rakira, we think she may be within this temple.
You'll only find Akunda here. Those who share his name are the only ones permitted to enter his hall.
I don't remember, Frog. I swear I don't.
Akunda welcomes all. Gathering the reagents needed for your communion is the first step towards redemption.
This is not the beginning of the stream contextual. We've been streaming for 5.5 hours. We did Warlock Leveling for 3.5 of that. In fact, I hate to do this, but I can't keep my head up. And I don't want to get real super duper extreme with my measures to keep my head up.
I deserve my fate.
You're heading out for raid, Midna? Take care. We'll not be here when you get back. I can just about guarantee it. So you have a great night. We'll hopefully see you tomorrow. Contextual, I tried so hard to level that Warlock today. Keep it going until you got there. Well, like I say. I'm glad y'all are enjoying and listening. That's what I'm saying, Chavez. It's powerful because of the way the class is designed. Not because you know, it's got too much of this or too little of that. There was 3 hours, over 3 hours of Warlock leveling. I'm sorry, buddy, I couldn't do much more. I needed to work on my Death Knight. I still need to work on my Death Knight. Well, gosh darn. Where am I trying to go? Oh, right here. Oh, that's right. I regret nothing! Trying to turn these quests in. But with the insane healing they've got, that's the whole point of the Blood Death Knights, right? Is to stay like that. Contextual, the stream was down for approximately 5 seconds. Wasn't it, Frog? It wasn't down for very long. It was set to private for probably another 10 seconds. Oh, nice. Nice, Chavez. Ah, there you go. Oh, well, the good news is I finally gotten rid of my migraine. The bad news is I did not sleep at all last night, and I didn't have any breakfast or lunch, and for supper I'm having potato chips, so very soon I'm going to need to sleep, unfortunately. Yeah, it wasn't that long. It really wasn't. So here's my plan, guys. Tomorrow we're going to essentially do what I had planned on doing today. Which is, first we'll finish off my Death Knight. Because I have to. Because I have to finish off my Death Knight. And I have to get him through time walking in order to take advantage of the gear that's there, right? I have to finish off time walking on my monk. That's right, Chavez. You got to have both sides of the Warglaive and have done the time walking version. Then you can transmog both sides of the Warglaive. You need both sides of it, is essentially what it comes down to. So tomorrow we finish my Death Knight. We start with that. We start early, pretty much as soon as I wake up. And we will hit that hard. We'll get that done in the first, say, 3 hours. Even if I have to queue for dungeons, I don't care. It needs to get done. Well, they can use swords too, Frog, and then transmog swords into glaives. And glaives into swords. So, you can transmog whatever sword you're wearing into the Warglaives of Azeroth. Anyway. So, we'll do that for about the first 3 hours. Then we'll do the time walking on my Death Knight. Do a little bit of world quests while we're in between queues. We'll use the whistle, chirp chirp, good burb. I don't know, buddy. Then we'll finish the time walking on my monk, do some world quests on my monk in between the queues. And then we'll finish off with some Warlock, because I didn't like how far we got today in the Warlock. So that's my plan for tomorrow. I want to do a really long, you know, 8, 10, 12-hour stream tomorrow, because we didn't get to do it today because, again, I got no sleep. So I'm just exhausted. I'm trying to build up my stamina for, you know, 2 weeks from now when we're doing the 1 to 120s. So I really want to get a good long stream in tomorrow. So I'm going to go to bed now. Well, I'll probably have a little bit of actual supper first, but I'll go to bed after that. And we'll start really early tomorrow. And I know it's a Monday, not a Sunday, so most of you won't be able to see. Chavez, I'll probably start really early. I'm thinking at the latest tomorrow, I'll start at about 7 a.m. my time. And right now it's 6 p.m. my time. So that's 13 hours from now. So it gives me time to sleep, time to eat supper and breakfast, come at it whole hog. So probably sometime between 6 and 7 a.m. my time, right? And we'll do a full 12-hour stream that gets me done at 7 p.m. at night. Leaves me plenty of time to have supper, have a good sleep before the next day when I've got raid. And Tuesday we'll have to take some time off. I'll probably put out a video Tuesday morning. Because Tuesday morning I'm planning on I'd like to put out my here are my add-ons video. Yeah, like I say, I know I hate the fact that that's a Monday and not a Sunday. It was kind of beyond my control. I was pushing my health as it was today to get this stream done because I was still suffering from the migraine when I started today. So that's kind of the plan for the next couple of days. So yeah, we'll try and put a video out on Tuesday. I really want to do my add-ons video because it's been asked about again, and it has been asked about a lot actually. So we'll try and put a video out Tuesday morning, afternoon-ish. Depends on how long it takes me to record it. If I need to do any editing, I'm gonna have to learn how to edit. But my raid starts at 5 o'clock my time, 7 p.m. Eastern. So assuming they're doing a heroic run, or assuming there's a slot in the Mythic, I definitely have to be available for that. So, and then Wednesday morning, Wednesday night, I kind of need to be available if my guild wants me. So what I might do Wednesday morning is I might finally do Before the Storm book review, and just not stream. As much as I would love to stream. And then, you know, Thursday we do our mount farm. Friday maybe we do some more leveling. Maybe we break out the Waffle Cakes the Shaman, because we haven't leveled him in a while. And then Saturday maybe we chill with some Mythic Zeros and maybe some Mythic Pluses if we can push them. So that's this week, guys. I hope that gives you guys a good idea of what my schedule is going to be like for this week. It's going to be hectic. It's going to be heckish. But again, I'm trying to build up my stamina for 2 weeks from now when we do that 1 to 120. So I want to stream or put out videos pretty much all the next week after that too. So we're doing a lot of leveling, maybe some prep for the 1 to 120. And on the 31st, I want to do an all-day stream, another all-day stream, but we want to do a really spooky non-WoW game. So I want you guys to think about that, because I'm going to put out, when I put out one of these videos, I'm going to ask you guys to vote in a poll as to what game you want to see me play that's scary, you know, super spoopy for 8 to 12 hours on Halloween. Because that's what we're going to do on Halloween, okay? That's the next 2 weeks. Because I got no raid next week, but I definitely have raid Tuesday and probably Wednesday as well. So I'll probably do videos Tuesday, Wednesday morning, afternoonish. No spiders though, yeah. Guys, it's my one thing that I have absolutely no sense of humor about. I have the worst case of arachnophobia on the planet, and I'm not even exaggerating. That's a good one, Punky, for sure, for sure. So think about it, and I'll put out a, like I said, I'll put out a poll in one of those 2 videos, Tuesday or Wednesday, and I'll probably tweet it out as well. If you're not already following me, at Kopitar Rules FTW, all one word. I also tweet whenever I go live, and in cases like today where OBS just decided to hiccup and stop the stream for a minute, I retweeted out when we were starting again. So stuff like that, you'll always be informed. Okay, guys? I think that's about all the explanation we can get through today. Thanks for coming, everybody. Take care. Have a great night. Hopefully we'll see you all tomorrow and pretty much for the rest of the week. Contextual, again, I just want to apologize. I couldn't do the Warlock any longer. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Thanks, Nanners. Appreciate it. Have a great night, everybody. Take care. Peace. Cop out.